So I'm going to bring, I hope you have your paper and your biro, your book and your biro ready to take notes tonight. Please, if you don't have, get up now. You have 30 seconds to go and get your notepad and your biro, because you cannot listen to Ambassador Sam without taking down notes. There's a saying that says the faintest pen is sharper than the brightest brain. The faintest, so anything you write down, you will remember. So, all right, let's go. As I bring on stage my personal mentor, Ambassador Samuel Nweke. Please go on the comment section and begin to say, welcome, Ambassador, welcome, Ambassador, welcome, Ambassador. He deserves it, he deserves it. Thank you very much, my Ambassador. You are welcome.
Wow, thanks so much, Mommy Florence, for that. I like whatever she's introducing. I like her saying all the way from US. I don't know why she did not say all the way from USA. I like it to be that my introduction did not come from Nigeria. So everything happening in Nigeria. Thank you so much, Ma, for that. Thank you so much, Ma. All right, good evening, everyone. See the way we are very few. It shock you. You know, this is how the coming of Christ will be. It will just shock you. People have gone to sleep. They are waiting for tomorrow. People that are doing 90 days game challenge. You are doing this 90 days game challenge. By this time, you have gone to sleep. It shocked you. Hey, everybody is expecting this meeting to happen tomorrow. And I would have really preferred this to happen tomorrow, but we saw what just happened a couple of minutes ago. Some people were sent link to the wrong people, and Ambassador Nefu just canceled our meeting tonight. So I was thinking, since the meeting is cancelled tonight, I'm sure it will be moved to tomorrow. So I don't want us to, because our meeting was also moved to tomorrow. So let's not miss out. Now, those who are not here are going to miss the series. Is recorded, so they're going to get the recorded version. But trust me, it is not and will never be the same. Hold on. Because what I'm about to teach you tonight, what I'm about to deal with tonight, please do not share this Zoom link. Tonight is strictly for presenters and office owners. Okay, presenters and office owner. Any presenter and office owner that is not logged in here should forget about it. You can send them the recording maybe tomorrow, but do not share this link to any other group, all right? Now, it is, honestly speaking, I pray to God Almighty that He opens your mind tonight, that He opens our mind tonight and opens my brain tonight to be able to convey this message the way you understand. I'm going to give you one guarantee here. If you understand 50% of what I'll say tonight, if at the end, if at the end of what I'm about to say tonight, I don't solve 80% of the issues you have with this business, or you have with business generally, I'll write you a check. Let's make that deal. Because what I'm about to do tonight, you know me, I'm the kind of person that I don't just like things happening. I go to look for answers. Whenever something happened and I don't know how it happened, and I like things not happening around me and I don't know how they happen. So I like going out to look for answers. So when things happen and I go to look for answers, I try to find out, why does this happen? Why? Omo, why does this happen? Why does it happen? Why does this happen? Why does this happen? I like having answers to this thing. I like having answers. Trust me, 80%. It will shock you. It will shock you. So because I wanted this answer so bad, I was looking out for when I finally got the answer from studying different people and the research. And of course, I've taught you guys the art of study. Most of you should know my art of study already. That's the training I'm supposed to do before this, but everybody should already have it. Tonight, I want to teach on something called the virtue of exhaustion. The virtue of exhaustion. Please, it is too important to me that you listen to tonight's training. You may not have time to go back to this training, even if you get the link. You may not have time to go back to it because 90 days game challenge is going on. We're grinding 8 a.m. to 12 midnight. You know the deal now. You may not have time to go back to this training. So this is the only time you may actually have time to go through this training and actually grab as much as possible. Now, because this is only leaders in this meeting can, I wanted it to be 45 minutes, but it may get to 1 hour, even 1 hour, 30 minutes. All right. So pay very close attention. Go and start making coffee. If you want me to give you 2 minutes, go and get your coffee ready. Tell me, this is that we will wait for you. But the point should not be that don't lie down. If you lie down, you will sleep off. Don't lie down. If you lie down, you will sleep off. It's not magic. You've had a rough day. You had a tough day. Today was QSG. You are tired. You carried your load back home. Some of you even trekked home. You are already tired. You didn't find keke. There was no fuel. Price have increased for transportation. So you have to just trek your way home. You have to go and look for, if you dare lie down to attend to this training, trust me, there's a 50% chance you would sleep. There's a 50% chance you will sleep. So I need you to be awake. So you need to sit up, okay? Sit up. Just let this be part of the sacrifice you're going to make for your team. What I'm about to teach you tonight will shock you. Nothing is new under the sun, but maybe you've never seen this way. So let's get right into this. Now, I was asking a simple question. How does this happen that all of a sudden you see somebody's business, especially for, network marketers, let me use multi-level marketing. You somebody's business growing. One office will be generating code. That office is called the code office. In fact, people will just be passing on the streets. They will branch and drop code and pass. They don't even need to present. All of a sudden, if you go back to that place 2 months later, it's like a wasteland land. Is it Westman or Westland? You guys should understand what I'm talking about. It's like a dead zone. You see one person, the person is generating income, generating code, firing, doing this, presenting everywhere, traveling, jumping from here to here. All of a sudden, you go and meet the person. It's as if the person is a shadow of themselves. And you are wondering, how does this happen? I kept asking this question because there's something that comes with exuberance. When that high is going, some people get scared and their fear is, oh my God, when is my downtime coming? So everybody's waiting for the downward spiral. So I started asking a simple question. I started asking question like, can this be avoided? If this can be avoided, how can this be avoided? What causes this? What exactly causes this? Man, I'm seeing names that I don't understand. Who is Rude Vincent? Rutefe Vincent. Accept the unmute, I beg, no verse. Good evening.
Good evening,
yeah,
sir.
good evening. Who is your mastermind?
Ambassador Honorary Joy.
Okay. I've never seen your name before, right? No wahala.
Okay, sir.
All right. Please do not share this link. This link is only for office owners and presenters. If they're already sleeping, no wahala. No wahala. Don't send this link to anybody. If I get anybody here, if you're the mastermind in the team, it's not go funny. So let's just this leaders meeting, because what I'm about to share tonight, some people who are new may not be able to handle it. Okay. Now, in asking this question of why exactly does this happen? When I was working as a secretary in Shalom Plaza, there were some leaders who used to hear their name. They were doing this. All of a sudden, everything does. I was like, why does this happen? I was hell-bent on having an answer because I wish I look for an answer. I wouldn't just say, why is this happening? And I'll believe in myself. I like looking for answers. Why is this thing like this? Why does it happen? Now, from a couple of books I've read and from research and from listening to amazing mentors, it all came to me and I got the answer. And that was what gave birth to this training, the virtue of exhaustion. I've already taught the 4 Ds. I'm going to reiterate on the 4 Ds again because now I've made it into a slide, a clear, precise slide that explains a lot. I'll remake that training. And I'm supposed to do that training before this, but please, because of the sake of the urgency of this, it's important we get this one first. Even if that one happens in the next 2 weeks, no wahala. The virtue of exhaustion. So let me break this down. First of all, what is exhaustion? Now, when you go to dictionary, remember I teach you guys how to search out for words. Always go to the root word. When the word was converted to English, what did they mean? So that's what going to. So whenever I go to Google and type something, go to translation. Go to further translation. When you go translation, you go down, you see origin. It is that origin. Check the English word under the origin. That's the meaning of that word. That's how you know that the word nice means stupid. If you go to Google and type nice, you see beautiful things, to be good to people, to be this, to be that. But check the origin of the word nice. The word nice means to be stupid. And what does that really mean? It means that you are kind to everybody. That means if I'm supposed to head this way, my goal require I head this way. All of a sudden, somebody here is not happy that I'm heading this way. Just to please that person, I will start heading this way. All of a sudden, somebody here don't like that I'm heading this way. To please that person, I'll start heading this way. That's what being nice means. Nice means to be stupid. It means you're living your life to please everybody. That's why nice people can never be wealthy. But if you say, I'm a nice person, I'm a nice person. I'm a very nice person. You don't even know the meaning of what they are saying. You can be kind. Kind means that I am now pleasing to those who are in alignment to where I'm heading. So I'm heading this way. I will please everybody loudly. So if you don't like that me heading this way, you don't. I know I don't like this business. I don't like it. All of a sudden, okay, because you don't like it, let me leave and come and start. No, that's what being nice means. Nice means to be stupid. So when I want to research the word exhaustion, go to the root word of the word exhaustion. It means drain out. It means drain out. That means the thing has been emptied. Now, what is the first thing that happened for something to be emptied? It means the thing had content in it. Please, are we following? Remember, guys, I like my meeting to be two ways. Are we following? For something to, the word exhaustion means drained out. It means drained out. It is a state of being used up. So for something to be used up, it means something was contained in it that was even used. You cannot come to a dry land, a desert, and you're like, this place has been drained out. No, there was never water there. But when you go to a lake that dried up, that this has been drained out, because there was something contained in it that disappeared. But desert, I can't say it was drained, it was always empty. So exhaustion means to drain out. But now in human, exhaustion is like the collapse of stamina. Exhaustion is brain fatigue, is emptiness. It's a lapse of energy. Exhaustion will break you. Okay. Exhaustion is that part where you know there's no more. You are empty, that you are drained out. What is contained inside of you is drained out. Please pay. I don't know how much I don't know how much I need to emphasize on the fact that you need to pay attention to tonight's meeting. Pay very close attention. Exhaustion is a betrayal of emotion. Exhaustion will make you just wake up one day and you start crying. I don't even know why you're crying. Who knows what I'm talking about? Just as you are in this business, you just start crying. Why are you even crying? You get home, you are just crying. You don't know why you're crying. Exhaustion will make you run away from things you can beat. Exhaustion will make you give up on causes you can handle very well. Exhaustion will make you run away from them. Exhaustion, you know you're exhausted when you just sleep and wake up and you still don't regain. That's what exhaustion means. Exhaustion will make you doubt your existence. Exhaustion will make you, hi God. So I found out, when I found out that what causes his exhaustion, I went to check what exactly is this exhaustion. And when I found out what the exhaustion was, I was like, whoa. I'm like, God, I need to avoid this. Now, first of all, what even causes all this exhaustion? Number one, when you are in use, you will get exhausted. See, this bottle of water is full. This Aquafina bottle of water is full. If I open this water and I start pouring it out, I'm using the water inside, right? I'm using the water inside. But when I finish pouring and the water inside finishes, what happens? It gets empty. It becomes exhausted. But the reason it got emptied was because I was using the water. Does that make sense? So what causes exhaustion is when you are being used. When you are being used. When you are being used. Another thing that causes exhaustion is when you are not also being used. And then you're looking at, if when I'm busy and when I'm not being used causes exhaustion, that means what do I do not to cause exhaustion? I'm coming to that. When you are being used and when you are not being used, when you are just kept there, this water is like this. You just have the water there, it's just there. Nobody ever uses it. fatigue sets in. But when it's emptied out, it is empty, fatigue also sets in. What again causes exhaustion? When your tank is small. I'm going to spend some time with, let me teach you how to expand your tank. Oh my God, Omo. God help me. I really need you guys to understand if you can understand what I'm teaching, what I'll be teaching tonight. If you can just understand 50%, I'm saying that 50% of what I'm teaching tonight, if you understand it, will solve 80% of your problem in this business. Trust me. It's just know. The fact that you don't know before, but now you will know. So you see this water. Let me tell you what happens to some people in this business. You see this water contained in this bottle. This bottle is full, right? Guys, give me energy in the comment section. This bottle is full, right? Yes, it's full. But if I have like I have a wine cup here that I used to take wine. It's Coca-Cola, but I used to pretend it's wine. This wine cup, if I have like 4 or 5 of it, and I carry this bottle of water and I pour inside, is this bottle of water becomes exhausted because it is now empty. But I still have the content. Why? Because I poured it inside cups. Does that make sense? Okay. Now then imagine if what I have to pour into is like 10 GP tank. Everybody pay attention to this. What if what I have to pour into is like 10 GP tank and I have this bottle of water? Now this bottle of water is full, right? That means it has carried all that it can carry. I can't put any more water. If I put any more water in this and compress it, this bottle will explode. So it cannot contain more water. It's not spiritual attack. This bottle cannot take more water. It is what it is. But what if I have to feed is 10 GP tank? And I carry this water. If I pour this bottle of water and share it amongst 10 GP tank, will you be able to see the water? Will you be able to see the water? No, you will not. In fact, as I pour in the water self, if I pour it from the side, before the water even reach the GP tank self, it will evaporate. You will not be able to see the water. How come the same bottle of water that was full, that was relevant when I had cup, is no longer relevant when it is GP tank? Why? Because yes, what some people what they contain is full to the brim, but what they have to pour into is bigger than them. And that's why some people cannot build leaders. Because people come into your business and they have capacity. They're like GP tank, but they are empty. Now, this bottle of water is an ordinary bottle of water, but it is full. This bottle of water is better than empty GP tank. So the GP tank can hold more, but it is empty. But this bottle of water can hold so little, but it is full. So a lot of people come into this business and they want to raise leaders, but their tank is so small. So because they are pouring into GP tanks, they'll come and they'll pour. By the time they pour, the GP tank, the water will not even show. They'll empty out. They'll come and replenish again and fill themselves up. They'll go and pour into GP tank, pour. Before they come back, it's empty again. They'll be looking at, God, I've been pouring. Why is this happening? Because you are pouring into things that are capacity are bigger than yours. So your tank is too small that your replenishment, it doesn't hold much. Oh my God. So when you are replenishing, when you're pouring into yourself, you get filled to the brim, or you full. Because is this water not full? It's full now. Can it take more? No. So I'm full. What are you talking about? But when you pour out, before you even finish pouring out, the people you are pouring into are already exhausted. Oh, guys, I need you guys to understand. I don't want this training to just be training. I want you guys to understand. Because this is what I understand this for the next one I'm going to do. I need you to understand this. When your tank is small, it's part of what causes exhaustion. What else causes exhaustion? When you do not know how to replenish. So let me tell you, how do I then increase my tank? The only way I found out in my research to increase your tank is by applying pressure. Everybody watch this. If I empty this tank, this bottle of water, and I apply heat on this rubber, can I expand this rubber? The answer is yes. I can expand this rubber. If I empty out this bottle of water and I take a hose that is pumping out heat and put in the mouth of the rubber and it pump out it will expand this rubber. So how does it work in our business? Stop running away from problems. Run to them. If you can, if I'm telling you what, thank God these were things I did or things I'm doing. So I'm not speaking, you will not find this in any book, by the way, don't bother. Don't start looking for a book called Virtue of Exhaustion. There's no such book, it doesn't exist. I'm speaking to you entirely based on experience and what I learned from some other mentors. So how do you increase your tank? By collecting pressures. Some of you come to the office, there's one particular downline that job that's always disturbing, and they've not come, they've not done this. All of a sudden you block the number, you delete the number, you do this, you throw them away. I don't want stress, you delete them. Every day they'll be giving you headache, and my people, they'll be giving you one sponsor headache. Your phone will be ringing. It's your downline that is calling you, you busy the call. Now, back. It is when you're collecting all those things, that is when the pressure increases your tank. It's when you're collecting all those things, your tank is expanding. And it happens in precept, it happens small. You can call it capacity. It's growing, boom, boom. All of a sudden, you can now handle 10 persons. All of a sudden, there are 10 persons calling you on phone, disturbing you. You are handling this one. Because human beings, everybody have different temperaments. You need to be somebody. For example, now, when I want to speak to Mommy Flores, I become another person. When I want to speak to Oloma, I become another person. When I want to speak to Tracy, I become another person. When I want to speak to I have to become all these people so that to suit their temperament, to give them the answers they need to further whatever they are chasing. But imagine if I say, no, my kind of person, no, I don't like headache. She always disturbs me and I'll cut the call on her. No, my kind of person, he's always making me and I'll cut the call, and I keep doing that. I keep pushing them away. I can only work with those who have the temperament I have. My tank is small. And maybe the capacity they have is GP tank. And I'm just bottled water. And I'm making math. Yes, I'm full. Guys, I'm full. Can't you see? Can't you see me? I'm full. All of you are empty. But if you can just expand your capacity and pour into them, they can hold enough to last you for a lifetime. Exhaustion. What again causes exhaustion? When you do not know how to replenish. Some persons don't know how to replenish. So when they are exhausted, they disappear. So we say, no, I just want to take a 1 week off. 2 weeks off. You take 2 weeks off and 1 week off when you are tired, not when you are exhausted. Let me give you an example. It's just like this bottle of water. This water goes off my hand tonight. It's even still sealed. And I pour away this bottle of water, empty this water, and I want water to be contained in it. And I say, no, let me keep the rubber to rest. If the rubber rests for 1 week and I bring back this rubber, is it full again? Will it automatically be full? I emptied out the water, and I said, let me drop the rubber to rest for 1 week, and I can't rubber. Will it be full again? It will never be full. That is why that 2 days off you took, that 1 week off you took, you came back, and it's as if you even spoiled your whole business. Because you did not go. You were tired. Exhaustion doesn't only come with meaningful sleep. It can't be cured with meaningful sleep. It's not by sleeping. I slept and woke up. Exhaustion, they wait for you. They take it. Jimmy, very well. The only way to solve exhaustion is a replenishment. The only way to put back water, to make sure water is back into this rubber, is by pouring it into the rubber. It's not by keeping the rubber to rest. It's by it is the only way. And how does replenishment come in a kind of business? It is when you attend trainings, when you read personal development. There is a reason I will never miss a training. It's not because I'm too disciplined. There is a reason I crave to see my mentor speak. I'm waiting. If Ambassador Mike wants to do a training today and says the training is this night by 12 midnight, before God and man, I will close my savings to rent private jet this night to be in Abuja. You guys don't understand. This night, make a haste and look at Abuja this night. I don't care the training is for 10 minutes, 30 minutes. If my money finish for the private jet, I will trek back to worry. But you see this night, I'll be in Abuja. There's the reason I give that level of, because I know that I'm not just going there, I am going there for replenish. And the thing that happens with replenishment, some people only attend trainings they need. Okay, now the training I need is how to close down. No, it doesn't work that way. When you contain value, you don't know when you test. When you are thirsty, please let me tell you something. Is there this water now? Can you tell me between this water? Can you separate the seeds in this water, the molecule of it that's entering the water you want to drink right now? No, you can't. That's how replenishment works. You don't know when you will need the training. All of them are into all of them. And by the time you have a lot, it mixes up and it's like this water. You cannot separate the molecules. Everything is in everything. You hear one thing, it takes you back to 5, 6, 10 trainings you had before. You're like, that was why that happened. That was why this happened. Your head will just make it up for you. That was when I was teaching how to study. There's a reason I say I will never miss a training, because my trainings are my replenishments. I listen to motivational teachings because they are my replenishments. I read books, they are replenishment. So you don't just feel tired. You've grind in the office for 1 week, all of a sudden you are tired. That's I want to take 1 week off. You come back 1 week off, you are worse than you were before you left. Because of our time, let me move. Again, when you replenish with a mirage of substance, you say, okay, I want to replenish. Okay, God, I want to enter my replenishment phase. I don't have answers to a lot of things. There are a lot of challenges in your team, you don't have answers. Why are people not signing up? You don't know. Why are people not attending? You don't know. Why is conversion rate low? You don't know. Why are booking low? You don't know. Why is this low? You don't know anything. And you and your replenishment, you are reading book on goals, what's it called? Money management. How they say it in Yoruba? What's wrong now? You guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, wrong. You replenish with substance that you know that cannot replenish you. There's some people you just see talking, and as they are talking, you just know that they are empty. You know me, I know how shallow or how deep somebody is from the words they used to command their thoughts. That's how I know. I don't need to use big English. I just watch the way you express your emotions, the way you express that content inside of you, the way you bring out those content. I don't know whether you are deep or shallow. I don't from the beginning. I just know that this one is a no, or this one is a yes. So you have conversation with, that's why I say what we do in this business is not a joke. When I did interview now, that's why I employed 25 persons at a go in 1 month. I couldn't have conversation with the so-called graduates. They were too empty. The emptiness shocked me. You cannot have a good conversation with them. I could not. I wasn't even the one I did interview. The only one I interviewed, I gave up. I was like, nope, I cannot do this. I'm like, God, you are the savior of the world. Not be me go save the whole world. Make I save the world. God, I've not replenished, reached that level. Replenishment takes time. Jesus Christ at the age of 12 came into the world. At the age of 12, he told his parents, don't you know I must go about my father's business? At the age of 12. Where was Jesus Christ between 12 to 30 before his ministry started? Nobody heard of him. What was he doing? Mind you, at 12, Jesus Christ was teaching the priests in the synagogue. He was not teaching, he was teaching the scholars, people who their job is to study. He was teaching them at the age of 12. They sat down, people that their wisdom now promise. They sat down and they were listening to him. That means he was not empty at that age. At 12, he was already padded, he was already loaded. But he replenished. Let me tell you how good, let me tell you how much of a capacity of how much he replenished. This guy, Jesus Christ replenished between the age of 12 to 30. How many years is that? 18 good years. But he poured into himself so much and expanded his capacity so much that all his ministry had to last was just for 2 years. And his ministry, he contained so much that when he poured out what he contained in just a space of 2 years, that is what still sustaining the world 2,000 years later. Oh God, you guys, I wish you guys can understand. You guys can just understand what I'm saying. 18 years replenishment is what's sustaining the world for over 2,000 years. He didn't go to sleep. At the age of 12, he left his parents and went out. And his parents were looking for him for 3 days. And his parents were angry. Come on, will you go back home? He said, I beg, I must do the work of he that sent me. But he now realized, oh, at this point, I can't disobey my parents. Or I can disobey but I don't want to go into that training. Because disobey your parents just means you will not live long. Personally, I believe that's why Jesus Christ did not live long on earth. So disobeying your parents will only make you not live long. But I would rather live not long and fulfill purpose than live long and be Methuselah. And the only thing everybody know about me is that I live for 969 years. But that's my personal analogy. You don't have to take that. For 18 good years, Jesus was replenished. Nobody heard about him. A whole Messiah. But as a matter of fact, in fact, he was not ready for his ministry. It was his mother that made him start his ministry. When his mother said, go and turn that water, I know you can provide wine, you can make this or wine. He said, my time has not come. So so sometimes I sit and think, what if Jesus Christ has replenished for 50 years? What if he has started his ministry at the age of 50? Like, he's replenished. What if he was ready? What if his time had come? Because when he started his ministry, his own words were, my time, woman. He didn't even call him mother. That's why I call my mother woman. So, woman, my time have not come. He was forced into his time coming. And that 18 years replenishment is sustaining the word of. So what would you think would have happened if Jesus Christ had actually replenished for 50 years before he came to point to the world? Or more. So here's the truth. Exhaustion is not a bad thing. Because of our time, let's tell us. So how do you even deal with exhaustion? Increase your tank. This can only happen when you take in more. Don't run away from your teammates giving you headache. Run to them. By the time you stop, I have a book called Solution Book. Only my office owners here know that book. Only the office leaders here know the book. You guys, when we did our 1 day review office owners, you guys didn't ask what we went to do. It's called a solution. You see, I have a book. It's called a Solution Book. You see, in that book, every single answer, every single challenge that I've solved in this business is in that book. It's like textbook. Number one, what to do when two partners come with the same code for a payment. The answer is in the book. What to do? I have them. It's called. I say that book will be part of my inheritance. That if anybody, even when I'm long or when I'm done with network marketing, whenever or God calls me anytime, if your hand touch that book and you enter any multi-level marketing company, you will explode this in less than 1 month. If you can digest that book, it's called the Solution Book. Only my office owners here have them. I help them to create their own solution book. So how did I make solution book? By not running away from problem. I was handling them. Bring it to me. Bring it. So, but if I don't have the answers, I go to look for the answers. If I don't have the answer, I go to look. So by the time I go so many answers, if not even not come, bring it to my answer. Bring it to my anyone I don't, I go back to my book. I don't have the answer. Then I solve, I go and write. And that's why I don't do anything with sentiments. I do not do anything with sentiments. Why? Because once I answer anything with sentiments, it cannot help another person. It only helps that particular case. Yeah, but you have to be human. You have to be kind. You have to be sentimental. So as a human being, I understand. But what is at stake is too much. It's better one person is injured than everybody is injured. Make sure you are pouring into what. Make sure you are not pouring into what is leaking. Some of you contain a big tank and you are pouring into your people. What I'm doing now is pouring into you guys. And you are pouring into them, running this training, showing them how to do it, do this and this. But you are pouring into what is leaking. Do you know how do you point to things that are leaking when you don't have a standard? There's no standard. I have masterminds in this meeting right now. My masterminds are here. There are some people who are leaders in C21FG that cannot be my mastermind group. It's not even a. That was at that time they were saying that one who go to Mog was that should be. They were telling me be careful, oh, synthesize your people. The guy is now meeting out to leader, so he's recruiting people. I'm like, I told my leader, ma, I will drop 5 million naira, and I'll pay flight tickets for all my masterminds to go and meet him. If he's able to convince one, I'll give him the 5 million naira. That was how sure I was. Because the standard I set to be part of my inner circle, I made sure there was no leaking. So some of you, your standard is, you don't come late. But one person come late, and like, okay, but don't come late tomorrow. Okay, no problem. Just allow it go. No. Oh, wrong. Your standard is, when we do this, this is what will happen. When we do this, is what I will say, this Zoom meeting should not go to this link. And somebody, if you send it out, you're going to pay fine, or you're going to remove from the group. And the person that sends it out is somebody that generates the most code. And you're like, God, I cannot. Please don't do it again next time. You hear? Or somebody breaks the standard because the person is generating 200 code a month. You're like, you be careful, be careful. You can't even chastise the person. You can't reprimand the person. And you are pouring into that person, pouring. You don't know that you are pouring into what is leaking. That's why when I see any of my master, I make escape anybody. I just feel, they see the way I reacted. They'll be wondering, Mr. Staff, are you not a human being? No, but we're a human being. You are supposed to. They don't know why I react that way. Because I know that it's just like Titanic. What made Titanic to sink was one small hole. When they hit the iceberg, it was one small hole. As the water was pumping in with force, the ship broke and everything sank. And that small hole killed thousands of people. My brother, our job is to lead thousands of people to financial freedom. We cannot use you being a leakage to this. They know this today. No single person in your business is indisposable, both up and down. Nobody. I know I say this one now with all due respect, or even me, I'm not indisposable to your business. I am not. Sorry, to your success. I am not. The vision, I so much buy into the vision of this house that I'm too sure it's gonna happen. I'm sold out too much to be distracted. So when I set the standard is there. So how do you deal with exhaustion? Make sure you're not pouring into what is leaking. Again, make sure you are pouring into your team. Some of you know how to, especially me. Like the whole of December and the whole of January, I didn't have one single training with my team. Why? I was doing training for other people's team. But before I became like this, I was always pouring into my team. Why can I go out to do all this training? Because when I go, did they even look as if I was not part of my team? It didn't affect anything in my business. We're sitting on a normal encode with 30 daily, 15 money, 15 daily. It didn't even show. It didn't affect income. It didn't affect nada. It didn't even show as if I was not even in my business. In fact, it was December and January that even made me understand. It's not like now I can beat my hand on my chest and say, Omo, I'm a millionaire who earn passive, who earn millions passively. Because both in this December and this January, despite the image saga, everything, millions. So it's like I beat my hand on my chest and say, my brother and sister, calm down. I am actually a billionaire. I can actually vouch now. Because I didn't do any single thing. Why? I'm going to explain all this thing shortly. Because I called it to my team. Again, how do you have to deal with exhaustion? You cannot deal with exhaustion with sleeping. Tell them just go home and go and sleep today. You can do that when you're tired. By the time you finish making call for the day, you've been talking, and everything, you have to go and sleep. That's what happens when you're tired. Sleeping it. You can't sleep. When you're sleeping, you sleep. But exhaustion cannot be felt or dealt with sleeping. Again, you can only deal with exhaustion by replenishment. And here's another secret. You must get exhausted. Somebody say, I want now to not get exhausted. You cannot not get exhausted. It is impossible not to get exhausted. You must get exhausted. You should pray. In fact, you will get exhausted. You should hope to get exhausted. Make sure you do not get exhausted in your doing phase. Our goal here is freedom. And I explained the 4 phases to gain freedom. When you're in your preparation mode, when you don't have your own office in this business, you're in your preparation mode, you're not even in anything. When you now own everything, when you own the office you operate from, then you're doing phase. When you now own 5 person in your team who now run their own different activities without you, you have entered decision. That's because it's only your decision phase that can unlock 2 comma problem. But that's why I'm going to do a training for active mobilizers. Those who have 50 persons in the image. I have a training for you guys. It's part of I might have a lot of training within the next 2 weeks. So that's what I was supposed to do in January, but I was waiting for other people's image to finish. The goal for you, make sure you do not get exhausted in your doing phase. Don't expect not to get exhausted. That is mumu thought. You are naive to think I will not get exhausted. It's a naive thought. You are naive to think that. The goal is you don't get exhausted in your doing phase. This is why I was supposed to explain the 4 Ds again if I explain this. But you get together later. Now, symptom of exhaustion. When your emotion betray you, emotional betrayal. God. When you begin to run from things, causes that you can beat very well, you are running from them. Just now you're exhausted. Please, I have 200 persons in this city. And how are we going to do with them? I have 200 persons here. I have 100 persons here. How are we going to do with them? How do we start with them? Madam, I beg. But you can run presentation for them. You could do events for them. You normally run events for people. You can close them down. You can handle it. You have to run an office. Why are you running away from it? It's exhaustion. Exhaustion, you symptom is when you start avoiding battles that you can win, battles that you can easily win, you're avoiding them. They're making timetable, you're hiding, let them not add you. God. When you're crying, and you don't even know why you're crying, exhaustion of setting. At that point, once exhaustion setting, never miss a training. Your replenishment is red. I wish there's a siren on people's head. I'll be showing when they're exhausted, to be showing red. Pon, 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 pon. When you are replenished, it starts showing green. I wish there was something like that. When these things start happening to you, your goal is never to miss any training. Like, look at what happened tonight. A lot of people are sleeping. They're waiting for this, because we're supposed to be over 250 here. They're waiting for this training to happen tomorrow. It shocked them. 50 minutes at the time training, got 10 minutes, plus 10 minutes notice. But those are here. Please, I hope we're learning something. Are we learning something? I need feedback on the comment section. Everybody give feedback. So you wake up. Give feedback. Are we learning something? Omo, I pray to God Almighty that you understand just 50%. You don't have to understand everything. Just 50% of what I'm explaining tonight. Just 50%. Just 50%. Now, what are the downside of exhaustion? So what makes exhaustion bad? It is a cave that is not built on rock. Exhaustion is a cave. The thing about caves is that these are emotional caves, emotional layovers. So you can be walking around exhausted and everybody's cheering you up, not knowing that you're exhausted. Everybody's hailing you everywhere. Did this, the Odogu, did this, did that, did this, did that, but you know that you're exhausted. Because it is an emotional, it's like you are locked inside a cave. But it's not a cave. It's not a cave that people can see with their eyes. So you know you're exhausted. I'm talking about myself. I knew I was exhausted. Remember, Ambassador Sam, 2021, the whole of 2021 did not exist in my business. I say people think I'm joking. Everybody was calling me Ambassador Sam, but I knew I was exhausted. I was running away from things, running away. I knew. I did not know. If now that I know that it was exhaustion happened, then I did not know. But everybody was saying, Ambassador Sam, the young guy, the 20-year-old guy that did this, the youngest this and I bought it. But I knew. I knew something was off. That was when I went to look for why did this happen. But thank God I had successfully poured into my people. Now, what's this? Why my own was not visible was because that water, that thing I contained. I was able to pour to my people to their capacity. Remember, the goal is to pour to their capacity, not to your capacity, to their capacity. So if they are bigger, you have to increase your capacity. So I poured into them so much that even while I was exhausted, it did not affect things like my income. Why? Because what I contained was still within me. Who understands what I just explained now? I still had the water. It's just like owning this bottle of water, and I poured it inside 5 cups that I own. So the rubber is empty and tired, but I still have my water, even though it's not contained inside my bottle of water, but it was still with me. So it was still watering me. So people outside are not saying that, that person is dehydrated. Why? Because even though my rubber is empty, I still contain the water. You can be exhausted and still fool people. That is the bad part about exhaustion. That is the bad part. You can be exhausted and still be fooling people. Exhaustion is a layers of wall. It caves you. God. You are scared. Not necessarily scared. You are, yes, scared, but to everybody, you are in the light. But you know what is happening. Another downside about exhaustion is that exuberance guarantees exhaustion. You know, we have been trained to deal with exuberance when everything is okay. So because we have been trained to deal with exuberance, we naturally see exhaustion as failure. Write this down. Exhaustion is not failure. Exhaustion is not failure. So this is why let me now tell you why a lot of people, when their business go down, they quit. Yes, when they are exhausted, it affects their business. Let me tell you how this happens. All of a sudden, they contain water. They were filling up, they replenished, and they started pouring. As they are pouring, hey, they didn't care that people were leaking. They were just pouring, because the water was still watering them. They are still seeing the water. All of a sudden, the rubber went empty. Rather than going only for about 40% goes back to replenish. 60%, once they're exhausted, they fall off. Only 40% goes back to replenish. This is why there's no day my business. I will just go up and now go down. It cannot happen. It's not possible. Because I know how to handle it and how to solve it. I solved it when I did not know. So now I know. Do you understand what I'm talking about? When I did not know, I was able to maneuver it. Now that I now know, I'll be stupid if that happens to me. Exuberance, that good part. Great highs are often followed by great lows. So your prayer should not be, Father, I will not get exhausted. Your prayer should be, Father, give me the capacity not to get exhausted in my doing phase. Because your doing phase means you are still alone. If you empty out when you are still alone, when you are exhausted, everything in your business will die. When you are replenishing, everything in your business is dead. You have to replenish. Go and recruit new people and start pouring in again. If you also get exhausted again, you're doing phase, all of them will die down. They will dry out. You will go back again, replenish, and recruit people and start pouring in again. And as you are pouring, all of a sudden, you get empty again. You are tired. You go back, you replenish, you come back, and you recruit people, and you start pouring in again. By the time you know, 4 years is gone, 2 years is gone, 3 years is gone, 6 months is gone. Every 6 months and nothing changes in your business, you are heading towards exhaustion. God. Oh, guys, I need you guys to understand this. Don't get exhausted in your doing phase. I'm begging you in the name of God. If you get exhausted in your doing phase, you will repeat it again. And doing phase is the hardest phase with the lowest pay. Most of you have never entered your doing phase. Most of you are just enter your doing phase. The day you own your office, that's what your doing phase means. The attack that will come on you, both from teammates, both from downlines, both from prospects, both from headache, both from leadership, everything. When I mean attack, there is not attack, there demands. Everybody is demanding from you, demanding. You are crying, you are running around, and the pay is not showing. You are doing more, but you're earning so little. When you're able to bet, you must go through your doing phase before you enter your decision phase. But once you enter your decision phase, you do little, and boom, everywhere explodes. So when there's exuberance, just know there's a guaranteed exhaustion coming. What are the upsides of exhaustion? It shows that you are fighting. Woo! There's something called the fighter's fatigue. See, the second people observe that you have entered battle and you are fighting, that you're a fighter, they begin to send battles to you. Whether the battles concerns you, it does not concern you, whether it is yours or it is not yours, they begin to send all these battles to you. Your teammate, Nweke, they will start raining it on you. My great-grandmother's goldfish there, please, come and help me resurrect it. Our chicken in the village is pregnant for a goat. How do we solve this? Our this, that. I'm telling you that it's called a fight, and you cannot expect us to gain fighter's fatigue. When all of that begins to come to you, you cannot explain to be everybody's savior and not get exhausted. Now, it's not possible. You cannot be everybody's savior and not get exhausted. It's not possible. It is not logical to think I can save everybody and not get exhausted. My brother and sister, I'm sorry, but it is not possible. You can never make it. It's not possible. It's not possible. So the upside, so when exhaustion is coming, it shows that, God, thank God I'm even fighting. I'm in the war. I'm in the battle. I'm in the battlefield. When exhaustion is coming, that means, more replenishment season. You cannot miss any meeting. Some meeting you are in, everything you are logging, whether it makes sense, it doesn't make sense, because when it is time to pour out, that's the most of the training you are getting now will make sense to you. For now, this will never make sense to you. When you upside shows that, that means I even have something contained inside of me. Oh my God, that means I was not empty. I mean, if I pour out this water in this rubber now, you should have, this water even has something inside of it. My goodness. Exhaustion guarantees exuberance. The way exuberance guarantees exhaustion. It's called up and down and up and down and up and down. Exhaustion is what shows that you have been able to do more with less. When you read the story of Elijah, when this person threatened him, what's this woman's name? Jezebel, and he ran away. And he started threatening God. God, she wants to kill me. She says she will kill me. She says she will kill me. God, she says she will kill me. God, I'm on. He started crying. God, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. You know it's only me you have. God told him, my brother, calm down. You are hungry first. He told the other, please give this guy food first. Give her food. Give her food first. Give her. He ate. Bible says he ate and fell asleep. After my guy chop finish, wake up. But like, hell, what is her name again, Seth? But do you know, if you read before that part, exhaustion outran chariots. Do you know what chariots are? Horses. Imagine a human being who outran horses. My brother and sister, is he not supposed to be exhausted? No, now let's be realistic. Somebody that outran horses, you're not supposed to tire. You're supposed to tire now. So that means he didn't look at the fact that, I outran horses. So exhaustion will not even let you see the fact that you did more with less. Do you know what it means to become a millionaire with 49,990? Or even 1 million naira, if that's what you started with? Do you know what it means? I became a millionaire in this business with absolutely not a dime, because I never brought 1 naira into this business. God in heaven bears me witness. Working as a secretary was how I got so much money. That means money was taken out of the business. The part I borrowed was people's money entirely. There was no part where I worked. The 9K that I saved, I might not use it to pay for anyone. It was people when I finally borrowed, I started the business. It was transport. And today I'm talking about millions. So when exhaustion comes, it won't let you see the fact that What you did is not normal. Elijah, you outran chariots. You outrun with your leg. You outrun people with horses. You're supposed to be exhausted. So when you so the upside is that that means the evidence I get exhausted means I'm able to do more with less. Now, keynotes. You have to take these keynotes and we're out of here. Do not get exhausted when you're doing faith. I see this one, but there's one reason I'm repeating it. Understand that change in season guarantees continuity. There is a reason we have fall and winter. Every year, every season is not reaping season. The mango tree in your compound does not give you mango every time of the day. There is a time the mango will stop producing so that the ground will rest and the tree will rest too. You cannot expect to be producing 247. You cannot. You will collapse. You cannot have a car and the car will be traveling at 120 kilometers per hour every single day. My brother, at some point, you will park the car by the side, change the oil, change the tire, service the car. It is not possible. When you always read about the scripture, there is to put something that he said that there's a reason the priests do not live in the holies of holies. They don't live it. They I enter to the holies of holies. I don't live in the holies of holies. Why? Because this is the time you need to come out and eat bread and eat wine and chop food. Don't live in the holies of holies. You enter the holies of holies. There's a reason you have sowing, and everything must get as far as you are alive, you must get exhausted. Anything that have life must get exhausted. Sorry, as far as you have life and you are giving, you must get exhausted. Everything that have life and gives must get exhausted. You cannot be fruitful 24 hours a day. Now, my brother and sister, you guys know what I'm talking about now. Who has observed it? All of a sudden, your office is generating code. You're not even present. I know what I'm talking about. It was Nweke. Where's Nweke? We stayed in the office. See, there was a people who drove into the office. They came to sign up 77 accounts each. No, what happened? They have never seen presentation. The man said that somebody in his office was talking about me. That's why your integrity needs to be intact. You must know that young guy. No, the young guy will tell you the truth. At the business network markets, you have to build. If you're not ready to build, don't sign up. The guy. That was what the man. You just said they came to see the boy that they were talking about. And both of them paid 77 accounts. They had never seen presentation. Me and they were in the office. That thing has happened a lot of times. People just come to the office. I saw mention 2 days ago or 5 weeks ago. They just come and pay. All of a sudden, everything will just die down. Why I have never felt it was that when that thing was happening, I was able to expand the meeting. Oh, yeah, you launch out, go and offer. Oh, have you an office? So when that comes to my office, everything slowed down. I didn't feel it. Why? Because all the other offices had it going. So by the time the other office got exhausted, they expanded. So by the time my office regained it, you guys know, so it's circling. So we never lose it in the team. You understand what I'm talking about? So it never leaves the team. But to expect that only you will be generating, producing one that you cannot. I'm sorry, my brother and sister, you cannot fit. Exhaustion would set in. Exhaustion is not failure. We are not wired to deal with exhaustion. We are not wired to see exhaustion as a good thing. Exhaustion is a good thing, no? But we are not wired to see that as a good thing. So when exhaustion happens in a kind of business, people quit. Why? I don't understand. I've built a team, all of a sudden everything died out. I cannot do this again. They walk out. And I'm like, no! All you had to do was outlast that phase. That was all you had to do. But they walk out. The ones that don't work out don't even know what they are doing. They begin again. Please come and torment me. Come on. What do I do? Let me take 2 weeks. Let me take 1 month sabbatical. And they will disappear for 1 month and come back and expect once they come back, everything will fall in order. No. My brother said you will begin again. Amen. You will start your doing phase afresh. Oh, you don't know? You will begin afresh. By the time you start afresh and you don't get it right again, guess what will happen? You will start afresh again. The day you tire, you fall out. It is what it is. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. I thought I was going to tell you the truth tonight. Exuberance comes before exhaustion. It is not logical to think that you can be everybody's savior and not get exhausted. It doesn't make any sense. Lastly, the bigger your tank, the more time your replenishment will take. That ultimately means the more time your exhaustion will last. If your tank, if I want to fill up a GP tank and I want to fill up this bottled water, which one will I fill up first? The bottled water. But if I want to empty both of them, which one will I empty first? The bottled water. That's just what it is. So the bigger your tank, the more time it takes for you to replenish. That also means the more time your exhaustion phase will last. Exhaustion is not failure. Man, I hope I've been able to help somebody tonight. I hope I've been able to help you solve a lot of problems tonight. There were 2 trains I was supposed to do before this, that if I had done those 2 trains before this, as I'm saying this, everything in your head will just align. You'll just be like, my goodness, you will just get it. There will not be magic. You just understand it. Boom. It just come to you like boom. Like as if they just do abracadabra. It just come to you like, whoa. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. So for the sake of questions, what's the time? I may not have room to stop the recording.